Here we go, Steelers, here we go. Welcome everybody to my Steelers bye week. And you know what? You probably don't get this energy from me when it's during the week because I'm like watching my team like this, but it is the bye week. I've had time to sleep and relax and refresh. And so I wanted to make a video about my Steelers and where we're at, what I'm thinking as we move forward. The great news about this video is there's a lot of things that I thought about that we were be focused on and that were going to be important, and they have all shown up to be important. And so first of all, that makes me happy. And second of all, the Steelers, I'm really hard on the Steelers. They're probably the team that I grade the hardest. And I kind of like it because they usually meet my expectations or get close to them. And so I'm super excited about this. So I am going to talk about what I want the Steelers to do during this bye week. And I'm also just going to do a little bit of retroactive reacting on what I thought heading into this season to see how close I was and to see what that actually looks like in practice now that we are on a bye week and we are 6-2. So let's get into the video. I would not be upset if the Steelers went and got like an off-kilter big wide receiver. I would not be upset. That would actually be amazing, and I would not complain about that one bit. But I'm just going to leave that where it's at. I don't get to be a GM, and I don't get to make those decisions. So I just wanted to say my opinion and let it be what it's going to be. But the other thing I want to say is, as I did with Colorado and Texas, this off season, I had videos where I did like a fan series where I talked to a Steelers fan, and I did a content creator series when I talked to other Steelers fans. And so some of the things that we were talking about that we were worried about heading into the season that we weren't sure about have shown up. First thing, obviously being quarterback, I think it's no secret that everybody that was looking at the Steelers was thinking about the quarterback play. The second thing we all were kind of thinking about was this offensive line. What was it going to look like? Were we going to mature? Were we going to get better? Because we all know our offensive line is young. And the third thing was going to be, can we score points? Like, can we score points? Can we throw the ball down the field? Like, what are we going to do? And so I am happy to report that all of those things are looking, some of them are looking better than others. Our offensive line is still kind of whatever, but can we throw the ball down the field? What Russell Wilson are we going to get? What is Justin Fields going to look like? I think we have those things figured out. And so I'm super excited about that. So I think we did everything we were supposed to do in that regard. The other thing I want to talk about here are my keys to success. And so I'm going to throw that video up somewhere around here. And in that video, it's kind of interesting the things that I talked about. So the first thing I focused on in that video was the quarterback, right? Are we going to be able to take care of the football? Are we going to throw the ball down the field? I am happy to report that we are going to throw the ball down the field and our quarterbacks are going to take care of the ball. And so that's good. The other thing I talked about in that series was Darnell Washington, tight end. Like, are we going to use him? Is he going to be used? Is he going to be impactful? What is he going to do? Happy to report that I think that we are going to use him, and I think he is good to go. So that's good. The other thing is Patrick Queen. So I talked about Patrick Queen before the season started. There was a game, I think game 2 or game 3, where I was like, I'm not sure what Patrick Queen has going on or how he's feeling or whatever. I'm happy to report that Patrick Queen is where he's supposed to be and he's doing what he's supposed to do. So that is fantastic. The other person I called out was Keanu Benton. Now, here's where it gets tricky. He has not really lived up to expectations right now. He was supposed to be able to help us stop the run. He was supposed to really develop this year and like be a guy that could help us be stout on our defensive line. So far, I just haven't seen it. He's way better at pass defense than he is against run defense. The problem is we need him to be better in run defense so that our run defense can be better. And so everything that I called out, I'm like, okay, check, okay, check, okay, check, okay, check, great. The only thing that isn't is Keanu Benton. And I'm actually sad by this because I think he has a lot of potential. I think he's better than what he's showing on film. And so I don't know, maybe he did show up on the injury report, so I'll give him the benefit of that doubt. But so far he has been a sore spot on defense, and I'm not happy to report that, and I'm not happy to say that. And I'm just hoping that with this bye week, a little bit more time film studying, he can kind of get himself revved up and that he'll be better. That's my hope. But I will say, as of right now, out of all the things that I listed, he is the one spot that I'm just kind of like, like, come on, like we could do this, like, come on. And so he's the one spot that's there. So overall, everything's going great. The other big call out that I want to say is we all know that now when the Steelers score a touchdown, I don't lose my mind. I actually expect us to score touchdowns. I actually am watching a team and I expect my team to score touchdowns. Last year, we averaged 17 points a game. I think it was 17.8 or something, right? Last year, we could not score points. And anytime we got over 20, it was like a celebration. And anytime another team got over 20, we were like, we can't win because we can't score points. This year, we're averaging 23 points. And I know that to a lot of people, that's not a lot of points, right? You're thinking okay, 23 points in the NFL, whatever. We're number 15. So we're kind of where we want to be. We can score points. So that's good. I think we started off the season a little slow, but here lately we've been scoring more points. We're going over 20. We got 30 or more points 2 times this year. So what I'm hoping is we're seeing the evolution of the Steelers offense. And what I'm hoping is the Steelers offense is able to score points. And so I think we're right where we want to be, kind of. Could we be better? Absolutely. Does our red zone offense need some attention? Absolutely. But the truth is we've scored in the red zone. It's just our lovely offensive line has been holding. And so I'll just leave it at that. And obviously, Pickens getting down the same foot twice, all of that, I got it. But there's a lot of reasons that our touchdowns have been called back. And it's not because we're not getting into the end zone. It's because we always have a lovely penalty that happens that keeps us out of the end zone. So having said that, I think this team, let me grade myself. I think grading myself, all of my call outs were spot on. Needing to score more points on offense, check. Keanu Benton, he hasn't been great, but the call out, check. The quarterback taking care of the ball and throwing the ball down the field, check. Darnell Washington, check. So I don't know. I think I did a pretty good job of calling these things out and being able to assess where the teams are and where we're going and where we're headed. Coming out of the bye week, this will come as no surprise. I think I said in the last video that I created, but I'm really, really looking forward to what does our run defense look like as we come back? Because the run defense, I'm a little concerned about it. I'll talk about it in another video. But as of right now, mid-season, I'm a little bit concerned about our run defense. Keanu Benton is probably a lot of the reason why I'm feeling that way. So I'm feeling a little bit away about our run defense, but I'll leave that where it's at. The second thing is this red zone offense. I need us to actually score touchdowns, and I need those touchdowns to stand. That would be absolutely phenomenal. And then, you know what? I just want us to keep going on this high trajectory, because the truth of the matter is this is where the schedule gets tough. We haven't played anybody in the AFC North yet. So that means we haven't played Cincinnati. We haven't played the Ravens. We haven't played Cincinnati, the Ravens. We haven't played the Browns. So that's that. So that's 6 games. We have the Eagles coming up. We have the Commanders coming up. We have Kansas City coming up. And that is all of our 9 games. So I just told you the toughest part of our schedule. So I'm going to repeat that for the people in the back that couldn't hear me. We have the Eagles coming up. We have Kansas City coming up. We have the Bengals coming up. We have the Ravens coming up. We have the Browns coming up. And I'm forgetting, and the Commanders. So those are the 9 games that we have coming up. And if you go look at all of those 9 teams, I think every single one of them has a winning record except for the Browns, and we play them twice. So I'm just saying. Or maybe the Bengals don't have a winning record. I don't really know. I'm not sure about the Bengals just as of this recording, because I didn't take the time to look at the Bengals because that's their business. That's not my business. But seriously, these are the games that we have coming up. So this is the toughest part of the schedule, right? This is what I've been complaining about since the schedule came out. It's going to get hard. We're going to have tough stretches, but this is where we figure out who our team is, what we're made of, what we're going to do, how we're going to show up, if we're going to win, if we're not going to win. And I am expecting us to win games. I'm expecting us, like I said at the beginning of the season, success this season to me looks like going to the playoffs. That is a necessity. We need to go to the playoffs. The second thing is we need to win a game. We need to win a playoff game. We have been going to the playoffs, but we haven't been able to win a playoff game. You know what would be even great is if we were able to win the AFC North and then win a playoff game. Win the AFC North, win a playoff game. That would just be marvelous. So anyways, that is where I'm at. So if I'm grading myself, I'm giving myself an A, actually an A+. I always tell people the team I know the most is the Steelers because they are my babies. They've always been my babies. I fell in love with the Steelers before I fell in love with Texas. So I am a Steelers are my team. They're my squad. They're my everything. So I am a Steelers girl. I will always be hard on them. I will never apologize for that. I will always expect the best for them. And I will always obviously be 100% honest on what I'm seeing, because sometimes I'm like, what the hell was that? But I will stop rambling, giving myself an A, giving the Steelers an A, because they've done everything they needed to do except for dropping that game to Dallas, but I will let it ride. This is my bye week video about the Steelers. We are on track. We're right where we're supposed to be. Hey, right now we're number 1 in the AFC North. Like, what more could you ask for at this point in the season? So I'm going to end this video here. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, subscribe so you can see all my content. Turn on those notification bells so you know whenever I release videos. Even if I'm not talking about the Steelers, I could be talking about Texas football, other football, Colorado football, politics. I don't know, anything I come up with. But seriously, I'm going to stop rambling. I will end this video like I end every Steelers video. Here we go.